What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite New York Jets subscription podcast, Badlands. I'm your host, Joe Caporoso, joined by Jason Fitzgerald, Jason OTC. On the original docuseries, I think he has the belt for most guest appearances on Badlands. It's got to be at like 5 or 6 now. Camp has started. There's, of course, a contract situation with the Jets. Jason, how are we doing? Are you excited to talk about that?
Oh yeah, why not? It's not a Jets, start of a season without some kind of controversy over something. So, this one was brewing for a while, and I thought people were getting a little too worked up over the missing workout thing. He's done that in the past when he was on the Eagles. I didn't think that was the biggest of deals. Maybe that was a signal to the Jets, like, hey, I'd like to get a deal done, but I didn't think that was kind of the alarms going off kind of setting. This one is probably a little bit more so when you say you're not going to show up to training camp, because you do incur fines. So there are a lot of stiff penalties that come along with that if you're a player. So you've actually got to be kind of dug in when you're going to go that far. So, this is one of those where the Jets front office has been around for a long time now. I don't think people realize that. Joe Douglas is basically one of the longest tenured GMs, I think, in the league at this point. You've been around this long. You shouldn't be in situations like this. Like, you've been around long enough to know that when you traded for him from Philadelphia, he wanted a new contract. That wasn't really going to change by coming to the Jets. It's not like he was leaving a awful, terrible situation and coming to a great one. He was leaving a pretty good situation and coming to what most of us hope will be a good situation if the quarterback is healthy. So he was dug in on that, and it didn't seem like they made a solid enough attempt right at the front to get this done. And then I think when they traded away John Franklin Myers, that just gets your leverage and just completely blows it up. And people are saying, well, he told them he was going to play on the deal. Well, that was probably when he thought they had some other options maybe that were there too. And again, you've been a general manager for however many years, you've been around the game long enough, you should know that unless something's on a piece of paper, it means nothing. What somebody is going to tell you. And, that just leads to a situation like this.
So what is the path to a resolution here? Everyone dumped their notebook today. We saw all the public posturing from the Jets side, from Reddick's side. There's leaks everywhere. He's getting fined $50K a day or so that he misses.
Yep.
What is the most reasonable middle ground that you think could happen over the next week or two if the Jets want to hopefully avoid letting this become a huge distraction and story all summer? How do they land the plane here?
I think you look for that kind of Band-Aid. I'm sure he's looking for a long-term contract that is similar to what Danielle Hunter got this offseason, which was a pretty wild deal. $25 million a year, pretty much completely guaranteed for 2 seasons. You look at the market, you look at some of the players. Khalil Mack this year is playing at 19. I would think that's a number that you can get to, whether that's an up to number with incentives, or you just increase the base value, maybe increase the base value from whatever he's at right now, 14, 15 to 17 with an upside to 19. I'd be trying to use Khalil Mack in there and say, look, this guy said he wanted to stay on the Chargers for 1 season rather than do free agency. Yep. You should be willing to do the same kind of number that he might be willing to do. I would think that is the kind of the way to do it. You look around the league, and that's kind of the stuff that happened. Amari Cooper today, they guaranteed his salary. That's nothing but semantics. He wasn't getting cut, so who cares? You pay him a little bit of money up front, and you throw some incentives in there. And, typically that makes a player happy. Everybody pumps it up like, oh, look, the team gave him that much more money. It is what it is. The Jets have a 1-year window. I think that's the way they've approached all this. So if you've got a 1-year window, you may as well just go all in on the 1 year. And, you traded for the guy, you've got him under contract, figure out whatever works within your budget. If it hurts your budget next year that you're going to lose $4 million next year, so be it. Get him in and get it done.
I agree. This is a last dance Jets, win now. You hope you have 2 Rodgers years, but you can only have one for all you know. And this defense can't function down a major pass rushing threat. They can't recover not having Huff and not having JFM and then not having Reddick. With Reddick, you have Reddick, you have Johnson. You hope Will McDonald takes a step forward. That should be enough. I feel like if this is August 5th ish, then I'm starting to panic. July, he misses a week. Everyone postures. They get through that first, sort of round of press conferences and talking about it. I'll panic if we really start getting into padded practices and close to that first preseason game and it's still not done, which, considering all the moves you made and how you've spent, it's like, just get this figured out for God's sakes. But their long-term cap situation has plenty of other issues and void years and things to navigate. It doesn't really matter for this GM and head coach and quarterback. They have to win literally right now, or there is no future for them to worry about. Yep. Broader, this is a team that, let's say they start fast, and their schedule may allow them to be like a 4-2, 5-2 team out of the gate. Whether it's Devontae Adams or someone else, they could be a buyer or should be a buyer at the deadline. What kind of flexibility are they working with to be aggressive and go get a Devontae Adams or someone like that if it's like, wow, like we could really win the division this year and there's some opportunities to go upgrade? It's probably receiver, but it could be safety. It could be offensive line. It could be defensive line. Do they have the flexibility to go continue to play offense? We know they have the assets. They have all their draft picks next year. They have 2/3. They have plenty of collateral they can move. Money-wise, is there enough rope to make it work?
Yeah, they could make things work. They can still free up a bunch of money with Quinnen Williams. If they get some kind of deal done with Haason Reddick, you throw a couple added void years in there, throw a big signing bonus, you'll bring his cap number way down, even though you're paying him more money. You've got TJ Reed with a larger base salary. I don't think they're going to extend him, but again, you can maneuver things within that contract to free up money. So, they can easily create $16-20 million, if they need to open up cap room to bring somebody in. And when you're talking about a mid-season acquisition, you're getting at the point where a lot of that salary of that player has already been picked up by the other team. And if you're really worried about money, whether it's cap space or Woody just doesn't want to spend, you can give away additional draft picks to get that team to, basically pick up the entire contract for you. So, there's a lot of different things that they can do. So I think if the Jets are in a position where they're doing really well and they want to make a move, they can definitely do it. If they're in a position where they're doing mediocre and they look at it like, okay, we really need an upgrade at the wide receiver position, they can go in there and they can probably make a move like that. I know a lot of people are really antsy for them to make a move now. I don't really get that. If you like the roster, give it a shot. Give the roster a chance, see how things go, rather than going out there and giving away a lot of future assets and a lot of extra money to bring in Devontae Adams now and find out that Aaron Rodgers is only 50% of what he used to be. So I would just play things out, see how it goes, and then you go in there and you start making moves.
Michael Carter